Are you looking at hiring an agent, whether it be for buying or selling a property? Well, this video is going to be for you because I'm going to be sharing with you the top 5 characteristics that I have seen and learned through the years when it comes to having a top agent. And we're going to get to that right now. And if we've never met before, my name is Anita Cordell and I make videos about all things Kansas City, what it's like to live here, what it's like to work here, what it's like to play here, all things recreation, as well as I do talk about the weather. I'm also a licensed real estate agent and a team leader of the Yellow Brick Group, and we help people just like you buy, sell, relocate, and invest right here in our amazing city. Why? Because there's no place like home. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because I went to a really fantastic event. It's called the Tom Ferry Summit. I personally have a coach, and my coach is in the Tom Ferry ecosystem. And every single year they have what's called a summit. And this summit is where thousands of real estate agents all across the country, even into Canada and all over the world really, meet together for 3 days, and we hear from top agents who are really making a difference in their community, and they give us their tips and their tricks, their game plan really, and how they run their real estate business, and we learn for 3 days. But the reality of it is some of us meet on a daily basis in an app called Clubhouse. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about, because some of my friends actually went to the Tom Ferry Summit with us. So we're around top-notch agents all the time, and that is what I wanted to talk to you about. So there are 5 things that I wanted to tell you about when you're hiring an agent, whether that is to help you buy a property or whether that is to help you sell a property. I wanted to share with you some of the things that I noticed about these top-notch agents. Before I begin with my top tips, I wanted to share with you just a little bit more about Clubhouse. And the reason why is because a lot of times people, when they hear us talking about Clubhouse, they will say things like, oh my goodness, Clubhouse is dead. Well, no, it is not. Clubhouse is not dead. In fact, it is fully alive and is what has helped rejuvenate and do some really amazing things with my business personally. Clubhouse is kind of like a podcast app, and it's more or less like you're talking in the phone, but it's more of a room where all these people come together and they talk about a specific subject. Through the years, these same people who I mastermind with basically on a daily basis have met in person several times, and we talk to each other, we help each other out with problem solving, we help each other out through transactions, we give each other marketing ideas. And so we met, there's about 60 Clubhouse friends who went to Summit, and we had dinner and just really deepened our relationship. And I wanted to share with you because I have some fantastic referral partners. And so if you're watching this video and you don't live in Kansas City, but you want to know some of the characteristics, feel free to reach out to me, because I have a wealth of networking going on within my organization called Clubhouse. And so if you're needing an agent, whether that be in the state of Washington or Maine or Virginia or Texas, I have a long list of agents that have the same mindset as I do and that work really, really hard, and I can find you an agent no matter where you're at. So let's get into the list that I see as top qualities in a top-notch agent. The first one is what I call being a knowledge broker. And what that means in my mind is that you are surrounded by not only people who are helping you gain knowledge, but you are a knowledge broker. You don't have to necessarily be a broker, but they call you a knowledge broker. So when somebody comes to you and asks you questions about the market, you actually have the answers. You can look through the data and comb through it. You know about unique things that will help your client, such as absorption rates and how the absorption rate in your subdivision differs from a school district and how that will affect your pricing. You know things about marketing, you know things about what's going on in the city, you know things about the actual house so that you can effectively market that property a way that causes the home to sell. You also know that there's a lot of competition out there in the world today when it comes to marketing and and there's a lot of competition when it comes to selling. And when that happens, you know that there's a lot of noise out there that your clients actually can hear and listen to. And some of that information is correct, some of that is not correct. And what you can do as a knowledge broker is to make sure that the information that your clients receive is correct, because you have done your homework. That is what a knowledge broker is, and that is what I surrounded myself with when I go to the Tom Ferry Summits. Now, the second characteristic that I see in a top-notch agent contains training. And this is not just training on designations and making sure that you squeeze in your last CE course before your license gets expired. These top-notch agents go above and beyond that and just the bare minimum. We're talking about getting added designations just because you want added training. We're talking about Zoom calls, reading books, listening to podcasts, going to summit, going to different organizations and learning, and even masterminding with people, which is something that I do on Clubhouse. It's also talking about reading and watching YouTube channels and listening to the news and what's going on in the market these days. Another thing about top-notch agents is they do what's called role playing. So if somebody were to come to me and ask me a question that I did not know the answer to, I could take that question back to my colleagues and give them the scenario, and then they would then in turn tell me what they would say or how they would handle it. It's all about role playing and learning, because we as agents don't know everything. But what we can do is surround ourselves with people to help us train and help us get better in the long run. And therefore, it ultimately will help you. This leads me to the third characteristic of what I feel is a top-notch agent and what I've experienced at the Tom Ferry Summit. This third characteristic is the fact that there is community. Now, I've mentioned before that there's my Clubhouse community and people that I go to the summit with and training with, but it goes continually above and beyond that. These are people that you don't just meet once a month or once a quarter or even once a week. These are people that you are around all the time. In fact, that is why I love Clubhouse so much, and the community of people that I've surrounded with is we meet every single day or nearly every single day on here. And with these people, they also view this characteristic of having a community just as important as I do. You really have to have a community surrounding you. So it's not just about having a few colleagues here and there. It's about having a strong network of people that you trust and that you know how they run their business. You hear how they run their business all the time. You listen how they market. They freely give their marketing tips away. You also know that they love their clients and they really care for the people that they serve. And that is what I mean about community. Now, the fourth characteristic that I believe a top-notch agent has and what I've observed is the fact that they are strong in their marketing. And when they list a property, they don't just pop it up on MLS, get pictures, and then they're done. They have a whole SOP, which is what I call standard operating procedures. They have all kinds of things that they do. They also have a network of people that will give them continual new and fresh ideas, which is another thing, because when technology changes, especially when ChatGPT comes out or AI comes out, agents don't embrace these new technical advancements, then you can get behind. But what I never want is my clients to get behind in the strategies that are out there and what is happening in the world of technology. And so top-notch agents, from the people that I'm around, continually want to strive to be the best marketer that they possibly can be, because we want to ultimately be the cause of the property selling. We want to be the cause of why a buyer found a property. And if we don't learn new marketing techniques, and if we're not surrounded by people that help us learn them, we won't grow to our full potential, and ultimately our clients will suffer. We also know that we live in a very competitive world and we work in a very competitive industry. And a top-notch agent knows that, and we learn from those around us, and we continue to grow when it comes to marketing listings. And the last characteristic that I wanted to share with you about that I have learned through going through various conferences and being around top-notch agents is the fact that they have strong, great reviews. And I love the fact that when my clients give me a review, they give it sometimes verbally, they give it audibly, they give it on Google. So sometimes even my clients will be willing to sit down with me and do a very similar scenario like this, where they will be willing to give a video review for me so that I can share that with you. A lot of the top-notch agents that I'm around, hands down, have wonderful reviews, whether that's on Google, whether that's a video, whether that's on their Facebook page. They want to make sure that their clients are served and the clients feel valued. And when you do that, you're obviously going to get the job done and you're going to get good reviews. And so therefore, I think that that is a strong characteristic of working and having work ethics so high that people strive to not only give them reviews, but give them referrals as well. So those are my top 5 characteristics. So when you are looking for an agent, whether that's to help you buy a home or sell a home, be sure and consider these characteristics, because this is what I've seen when I'm around conferences and in Clubhouse and various different places, and I will help you find them no matter where your location is. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative in what I've learned when it comes to what other agents around me and what other colleagues do in their market and the things that I have learned from them. And so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please be sure and subscribe to my channel. I will have a lot more videos coming out, and click that bell so that you can be the first to learn when I post something new. Also in the description, don't forget my contact information is there. And if you have any questions at all, be sure and reach out to me. I would love to help you with your real estate goals. I hope you enjoyed this. And as always, go out and live your best Kansas City life.